Welcome to the second part of creating VPN for my virtual machines. The first part was about creating a resource group, and in that resource group, I added a virtual network that has three subnets. One is for the first VM, and the second one for second VM, and the third one is for the gateway. So now I'm going to add the virtual machines and the gateway in those subnets that I created in the previous video. I will also add the gateway and the VM. I can name it as VPN gateway. I will use the basic version. The difference in basic version and other versions is just that the bandwidth that is provided by the later versions is more than the basic version. Since it's a demo video, so I can use the basic version and use the same virtual network that I created in the previous part of this demo. I will create a new IP address for this virtual network gateway. I will name it as um, VPN gateway IP, and I will keep the rest of the options as default. Similarly, I will use the same resource group for this one, and the source group for this one is also VPN demo. I will create this gateway. I will move on to create VM1. I will keep the rest of the settings as default and use public key. I will use SSH public key as the authentication type because for Linux servers it is recommended that you should use SSH public keys uh, because it's a more secure way of connecting to the server instead of using password, because passwords can be leaked out. The SSH public key source can be generated by using putty gen. I will just click on generate and it will create a public key for me. I can use a key passphrase or keep it as it is, that is blank. We'll keep it as it is, and I will just click on save public key first. And this is the VM public key. AZVM public key. I will save it as a text file. So this is now saved. I will copy all these lines and then paste it here. This is my public key. I also need a private key. So when I will use the PuTTY client connection, I will use this private key as my like a source file for me to authenticate with the server. It is actually a pair of public and private key. The public key is given to the Azure, and the private key will be used during the connection for me to authenticate with the Azure. I will name it as AZ private key, AZVM private key. Yep. Okay. I don't need any inbound ports. Actually, I do need, but I'm going to select none uh, for this step. But I will add that later on in the networking section. Okay, my VNet, and the subnet is subnet one. Okay, that's all right. I need a public IP address. No, I don't need, because I am going to connect with this VM through the private IP address. That's the main point of making all this demo. I will go to advanced settings and change this name, because I will use the same NSG for both the VMs. I will use the source of IP address, and the IP address will be this one, that is my computer. With these settings, I am allowing my computer to be connected with this server on port number 22. Okay, and I can go on to create and review. All right, validation is passed, and I can click on create to create this virtual machine. So meanwhile this virtual machine is being deployed, I can create another virtual machine that will be added to the second subnet, that is subnet 2. Okay, this is VPN demo resource group. The name is VPN VM2. The SSH public key, I will use same username. Existing public key, that is this. And all right, it's configured now. Disks as the basic version, because it's a demo. I will use the subnet 2 for this VM, and I will not use any public IP. I will use the NSG, the same NSG that was created for VM1, so I will not have any inbound rules for the separate VMs. All right, click on create, and this VM will also be created. In the next part, we will continue from here to show you that how you can connect with this VM using the VPN, and we will install a client on the machine, and we will generate the self-signed SSL certificates to be able to communicate with the VM through encrypted mode.